Hey peeps, Naisha here and welcome to my channel. Today, as you can see, I'm going to talk to you guys about season 4, episode 1 of Bridgerton. It had came out January, part 1 came out January the 29th. And fun fact, I forgot that it was coming out so soon. It wasn't until I was watching somebody, I linked their video in the description box, because like I was watching her video because she had read all of the Bridgerton books, so you didn't have to. And I wanted to see what was the difference between like the TV show and the books. And so, yeah, I was watching her, and then when she mentioned, I was like, oh, snap, I could watch it right now, and things like that, especially since, it's late, it's literally nighttime. I should be in the bed, but I had to do this video because I'm just so excited. Anyway, so I just got finished watching episode 1. I said that I was going to just do a whole review on part 1. However, I tend to forget certain details and things like that. So I decided to just go ahead and just do a video for each episode. So that's what I'm going to do for now on. So, spoiler free right now, I would just say that episode 1 is a good episode. It started off good, in my opinion, and I'm excited to continue watching part 1 of season 4. Now that I told you that, now we're about to get into the spoilers. So if you don't want the spoilers, go ahead and get out now. But if you don't mind the spoilers, stay here and get you some popcorn and a little bit of drink. This might not be too long, but hey, you don't know me, and I'm a chatterbox, so this might be long. Who knows? But anywho, but yeah, in episode 1, you know what? Bridgerton keeps making me forget that sometimes we gonna see some naked booty. For real, Bridgerton keeps reminding me that we are going to see some naked booties. And naked booties we see. Especially we see Benedict's, and then we also see Will Mondridge. I feel like I'm butchering that last name, but yeah. And yeah, we see their booty. They booty meat. But yeah, I was like, oh, nice booties. But I was like, I wasn't expected to see it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, you could tell I'm watching Bridgerton. But yeah, okay, so in this, I want to say Kate and Anthony, they are still in India. I know Kate, I think she just gave birth to their child. So yeah, they're not at the Bridgerton household. But who are there is Colin and Penelope and their son, and of course Lady Fellerton, and I want to say Hyacinth. I think I saw Gregory. I don't think I was paying attention, but yeah, I think Gregory was there. And then, of course, Francesca and Eloise and Francesca's husband, they come back from Scotland, so they're there too. And the only people that are missing, of course, Daphne is not there. But yeah, the only person that Violet is looking for is Benedict, and of course she finds him, but she finds him in bed with with one of his lady friends and also another lady friends in there. I'm sorry, that scene was so funny. That scene was hilarious because what Violet does is she opens the door and she pulls back the covers. She sees her naked son, and then she sees a lady next to him, and then she opens the curtain to the window, and another woman pops up and is like, "Hey, it's to Bray here," and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, that scene had me laughing. I was laughing. Oh my goodness, I was laughing like a hyena. I'm telling you, I was like. I was like laughing so hard. That scene was so funny. And also, well, I want to say also, we see that Queen Charlotte and Lady Danbury are waiting for someone, and it turns out to be Penelope, of course. You know, now that she's outed herself as Lady Whistledown, the Queen wants to know what's the latest gossip, wants to be entertained, of course. And of course, you know, Penelope, she has to do it. And so after that, also Lady Danbury also tells the Queen to come to the first ball that Violet is throwing, because Violet's going to throw a masquerade ball. And you know, the Queen Charlotte, you know, she's like, you know, she was curious, like, you know, because she expected Lady Danbury to throw the first ball of the season, but it was Violet. And you know, Lady Danbury said like she didn't mind, and we found out why. And it turns out, especially like at the masquerade ball, that Lady Danbury, basically she's tired. She wants to visit the world. She's like, you know, she's done all she needs to do, and she feels like she contribute all she needs to contribute to the court, and she feels like she doesn't have any more to contribute, so she wants to just, you know, see the world and things like that. She wants to leave. And you know, it's a heartfelt moment. Like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, it had me like had a little tear in my eyes. That was until Queen Charlotte said no, and I was like, girl, really? Oh my goodness, Queen Charlotte, what are we gonna do with her? But yeah, I was like, come on, like, her request wasn't unreasonable. I'm just saying. But anywho, also we see a mystery lady. You know, I'm just gonna say lady in silver because like her dress is silver to me. But yeah, so the lady in silver, like, she shows up, and the driver of the carriage, like, you know, is telling her like, hey, you got to be back. You got to be back here like at 12. Like, you got to be back here at 12. And you know, she's nodding, and it seems like she's like super nervous, but she does end up getting out. Cause I was like, is she gonna get out? Cause like she just seems so timid. I was like, oh, sweet baby. And so she gets out and she goes to the ball, and like you could tell that she's like kind of hiding from someone in a way, but she's also like, you know, she's enjoying what she sees. Also, Benedict is late to this ball, and Violet clocks him on that because she's like, you 2 hours late. And then Benedict's like, I was already here. You just didn't know who I was. And it's like, Benedict, baby, she gave birth to you. She knew you wasn't there. You ain't got to lie to your mama, but okay. Anywho, at the ball, of course, you know, since Queen Charlotte there, she's going to Lady Whistledown. She's like, you got some gossip for me? Also, Penelope was like asking Queen Charlotte to like, is she gonna like pick a diamond of the season? And Queen Charlotte like, yeah, I'm done doing that. I ain't doing no more diamonds of the season. I'm gonna pick a million. I'm gonna pick men. Like who's the like eligible bachelor black bachelor. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I don't know why words just bleh. But anywho, who's the eligible I can't say the word bachelor finally. But yeah, she's trying to find like the lucky bachelor who's going like again, because like again she can't find no good diamond of the season, I suppose. I feel like she no 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 so yeah, she's taking like to like seeing like what man will make like a excellent match pretty much. And of course they're looking around, and of course like they keep picking out men, and of course Penelope be like, yeah but this and yeah but that type of situation. The queen sees that the women are looking at one particular man, and she sees that it is Benedict. And then Penelope's like, no, no, not Benedict. No, 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 not Benedict. No, no, no. Because everybody know Benedict ain't really for marriage. Like, when his mom had caught him earlier, like, he even said, like, he ain't for that marriage and stuff like that. Like, nope, not for him. Not for him. Because his mom was trying to tell him, like, your reputation. And he was like, look, he's like, Anthony is the viscount, so like you don't need to worry about his reputation. He's just a second son. Like he's not trying to sell down. He's trying to have fun, and fun he does, and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And also mainly because like Benedict just finds the lady of the ton to be born, the ladies to be born, because like they only want one thing, stuff like that. And but like his mama tells him at the ball to like go ahead and mingle with the ladies, and of course he does. He also spots the mystery woman in the silver gown, and he sees that she's like enjoying herself, like she's looking at everything, she's taking everything in, she's smiling from ear to ear and things like that. It's like the look on her face is so like pure joy that is so infectious. Like I was even smiling, I was cheesing, I was like, oh, that's so cute. And so a guy had comes up to her and is trying to dance with her, and Benedict noticed that she tucks like the dance card into her gloves. So Benedict goes to save her, and she's like curious to know why he came to save her, and he explains like she just seems like she's actually enjoying herself, like just pure joy on her face and stuff. And he asks her to dance, and she tries to deflect, but like he's like, what, is something wrong with me? And she's like, I can't dance. And he's like, excuse me, you can't what? Interesting. And so but like he ends up taking her to dance, but like they dance outside because he sees his mother trying to look for him. And then also the mystery lady is looking at Countess of Penwood. Yeah, she's looking at her and stuff like that, because I guess she sees her come over, so she decides like, yeah, let's just go ahead and because like he asked her to like get away just for a bit, and she ends up doing that with him, and he ends up teaching her how to dance. It's a cute little moment. They have a little moment and stuff like that. And then I want to say also, of course, I have to mention this, but Penelope saw like Eloise, just how she's talking to people at the ball and stuff like that. It seemed like she's having fun. And basically Eloise said, oh, because she decides to put herself on the shelf. Like, she ain't trying to get with nobody and stuff like that. So of course she's having fun. She's not trying to look for nobody. She ain't trying to look for no husband. So like, of course she's gonna have fun. And so I thought that was interesting. But back to the mystery woman and Benedict. Again, they have a little moment, and she hears like a noise, and she asks him like, what does that mean? And he tells her like, oh, it's 12 o'clock, it's midnight, it's time to take off your mask. And he's going to try to remove it, but she's like, oh, she gotta go. And then he's like what? And she's like, yeah. But before she does go, she turns back and give him a kiss, and then she bounces. She bolts. I thought that was hilarious. She leaves, and she left behind her glove, because like I said, they was having a little moment and stuff like that, and he ended up taking off one of her gloves in this little moment. But yeah, she ends up leaving. He's trying to catch up to her. He can't, like, at all. She bolted. Also, because Penelope, like, everybody knows she's Lady Whistledown. They see her, they go up to her. Again, I'm thinking now, because like she's in with the queen now or something. I don't know, but like they go up to her and introduce themselves to her and things like that. And also, I forgot to mention that like I forgot to mention the song that was playing at the ball was Usher, DJ Guys Falling in Love Again. I ain't gonna lie, I was dancing my butt off when I was saying that song. Like, oh, wait a minute. As soon as I caught the beat, I was like, oh, hey. Yeah, I was dancing to that. Anywho, I thought that was cute. And it did fit the moment. I can understand why that song was chosen. That's the main reason why I do like Bridgerton. Because like the song they choose is like, it fits exactly what is happening in that moment. So yeah, I like that song choice. I'm trying to figure out, am I missing anything? No, other than like Benedict talking to his mom and things like that, and he said something that like basically the mystery woman in the silver gown said, because he was like, because he kept saying like she's so different and things like that. And like I said, they was having a moment, and I like it because like they were being real, and I felt like Benedict was actually being honest with someone that wasn't his sibling, because he's always talking, because like when him and Eloise are talking and things like that, he could tell her, because like that's his sister. And so for him to talk to someone that's not a sibling and to like be raw and vulnerable for a moment, I ain't gonna lie, that made me like him even more, because it's like, you wouldn't expect that. But yeah. But yeah, he ends up saying something to Violet that makes her think like, are you changing on me? Type of vibe. And also, the queen is still stuck with like Benedict being the man of the season. And Penelope's like, no, Benedict is not gonna get married. He's never gonna get married. He'll be the last person to get married. And then the queen's like, you wanna bet on it? What you wanna bet on it? I was like, bet on it, bet on it, bet. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me get back to what we were talking about. But yeah, and so of course, after that, we see the mystery lady like at her home, and she's taking off everything, and we see that she is actually a, I want to say she a maid, a servant. I'm gonna say servant. She's actually a servant. And not only is she a servant, but she's a servant of Countess of Penwood and her two daughters. And so, and we also learn her name is Sophie, because like Countess of Penwood, I'm talking about Penwood. The Countess of Penwood, like she's being kind of sassy to her a bit, and it's like, girl, stop tripping. I'm sorry. But nah, for real, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, please stop tripping. Girl. But yeah, and of course it ends with like Lady Whistledown basically talking, and things like that. But yeah, and that's the first episode. I apologize if I left anything else out. And if you want to add something in the comment that I left out, just put it in the comments below and things like that. But yeah, overall, I feel like this is going to be my favorite season. Only because like I like the whole like, like she left hers her glove, like instead of, yeah, she left her glove, and now he has her glove. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. But that's all I have to say about episode 1 of season 4. And again, thank you if you made it this far in the video. I appreciate you. You are awesome. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya!